Alright, hello, good evening, welcome to Oniric Isles, public radio, which is, I guess, what I've decided this bit is going to be. I've changed my mic around a little bit, and I'm hoping that it sounds a lot better than it did in the previous streams. Although also I'm doing the voice. I'm doing the radio voice, so maybe that also makes a difference. Who knows? We'll find out when I drop the bit. Anyway, let's continue along with our adventure into the Oniric Isles. Alright, I'm not gonna... Well, I don't know. I might dip in and out of that bit. Who knows? We will see. Anyway. Instantly notice you sound better? Yes. Good. I am glad that it worked, Buttery Toast. I've already forgotten where the... Oh, here it is. So... last time, we were told to go find the Emberian. Oh, they're peeking a bit with your normal voice. Okay. Let's see. I can change that a little bit. Let me go into the settings. Lowering that just a little bit, just a couple decibels. Okay. All right. Anyway, what was I saying? So, last time we were going to the... We're going to chase after the Emberian, who is one of the crew members of Vela Kolos, and she is known as being a warrior in ancient Emberian armor. People say that if she really is an Emberian, she would likely be hundreds of years old. But because she is not undead, that would be a very strange thing for her to be. And she was said to be off to the west, which we are now going. The forest to the west. I was thinking a little bit about how in the first stream we did the Pwyll town quest, and I was thinking about the town quest for this one as well, which is separate from the Emberian. That's the one about the cultists and the god that they are suspected of worshipping to try to deal with the terrible harvest going on in this region. And if I'm remembering correctly, the main quest of this game, which is gathering the various crew members of Vela Kolos, those don't really involve moral choices. It's the local area quests that involve the moral choices. Who are you? Have I spoken to you? Did you see the huge statue outside? It's an ancient Wiccan artifact. It was built long ago, before the world rend, back when only mad occultists dared set foot in the Sky Realms. They may have been erected to mark important Wiccan ritual sites, but that is only a theory. Okay, in theory! Sorry, anyway. I don't know what came over me. I blacked out. Wiccans often disguise the truth of things with powerful magic, so it's incredibly hard to tell for sure. So this is tutorializing what I talked about previously, which is that the truth potion can sometimes let you see things that you don't already know. Okay, there's another candle somewhere that I missed. Here it is. Ah, wonderful. A skull. Unlocks the dilapidated manor at the foot of the Great Castle in Hallowshire. I don't remember what quest that's related to. Probably the town quest. Great Castle is probably that thing. I don't quite recall. But I was going this way. we might do the town quest, but beelining the Emberian right now. Because she's cool. All of the Colossus crew members that we encounter are interesting. I spoke about this a little bit in the Guy in Your Head video essay. I think that it's an interesting... Wait, nope. Is it, It is Q, okay. I spoke about this a little bit in the Guy in Your Head video. It's interesting how this game, a lot of the characterization of Vela is through characters like the Emberian, who get to speak about their relationship with her, and you learn who she is through their perceptions of her. And not as much her getting to say things about herself for herself, which is interesting, I think. It's very different to know a person when they are talking to you directly in your head, as I spoke about in that video, versus other people that they know and who may or may not have the most positive relationships with them talking to you about what they're like. I guess arguably this game is characterizing Colossus through the gossip her ex-friends have to say about her. But that is that is still an element of who we are. The echoes we leave behind, I guess, to... I didn't mean to say that as like a joke about my username. I meant that more kind of referencing how echo is like a very, very common word used in KOTOR 2 in that... to refer to that concept. Forget if that's one of the landmarks that the cartographers will specifically pay for. I assume it is. I remember this place, but I don't remember the specific thing about this place that I was annoyed by when I first... It might be... Might be how you actually get up here, which... But anyway, this game is very much sort of about... This game is very much about weird guys. Hi. I don't remember you. The creature looks at you from sunken eyes. It shifts behind its massive jaw. It appears physically incapable of lifting its head. Be still, human. Only those who embrace their wretchedness may claim their second self. Wait, what's a second self? Long ago, the goblins of this forest perpetrated a heinous evil. To this day, their kind still bears the burden of this guilt. I believe those guys with the masks and the swords are what goblins are in this world. So they carve themselves a new self in the form of a mask, yeah. When the goblins wear these, they appear to be altered. If it is by some magic or merely an act, I cannot say. We all carry some guilt, human. If you wish to acknowledge your own wrongdoings, you may claim a mask for yourself. I have embraced my wretchedness. May I pass? Ah. I need much more charm. It is one thing to say the words, it is another to truly comprehend their significance. I do not believe you are ready, human. Guess I'll have to come back when I'm much higher level. Who are you? I am one of the last of my kind. Most of us were killed long ago, and those of us that survived are forever cursed. As you can see, I possess no grace. If I were to stand straight, my neck would snap. Moving even small distances is difficult. But still, I breathe, and that is enough. I have found peace in this forest, and the goblins protect me. Goodbye. How heartwarming. Good God. Well, not really an accurate expression in this game, given the backstory of the gods and all that. I wonder... I forget if we learn more about who this guy is, if this is, in fact, a minor god. Kind of reminds me of some of the Titans from Attack on Titan. I'm pretty sure it's like an early one who's... who was it? Is it Connie's family or something? Connie's mother in like season 1 or something? It's been like 13 years since I watched the first season as it came out, and I have not gone back to it since. So I'm very much blanking on details. I believe, though, it's like Connie's mother, who's been turned into a really like big head but immobile Titan. The famous mech anime Attack on Titan. Precisely. The most... See, the thing about Attack on Titan that differentiates it from other mech anime is that this one's about the characters. I hope I have rage baited every mech anime fan with that. Also, hello, Hellup07. That's the thing that was like Genlock, right? Well, that's what a lot of... And the reason why I say that is because that's like a thing that everyone says about every mech anime, and it's always true. Well, not always, you know what I mean. Okay. So this is too far. That is the gate to the Endless Realm, where the undead people are. Not the Emberian. That's probably it. Yeah, this is it, because they mentioned a wheel, and that sure is a wheel. Some good goblin noises. Bleh. And tuning in to Oneric Isles FM, looks like we have a caller. Caller, what's your name?
Hello, I'm a goblin. Hello.
Hello, goblin. Do you mind telling us why you're calling us today?
Well, some person came with a bow and arrow and just shot me while I was doing nothing. Oh, my... I was doing nothing right in the mouth.
That's terrible.
And then he killed my butterfly friend.
I don't know exactly what the reason was for not being able to see your character at all. But as I've talked about this a little bit already. I just got here. Did anyone bring up the Obsidian Fallout news? I actually don't know what you're talking about. I haven't heard the Obsidian Fallout news. I know that, Obsidian had layoffs because Microsoft was, on a firing spree. I haven't heard anything more specific than that. Give me the deets, Alex Myron. I'm woefully uninformed. I don't want to start randomly guessing what the news is. And I also don't want to tab out and look it up, so... Supposedly everything else they had is cancelled to work on a brand new Fallout game led by Sawyer. I see. Well, wait, does that mean Grounded is, like... shuttered or whatever? Because my understanding is that game was sort of consistently, like, sort of a profitable live service thing for them. I mean, you know, it's neat that, you know, as a New Vegas fan, you know, kind of a neat thing to see announced, but obviously everything else being canceled is not so neat. And what about Gonzalez? Because I remember he returned to the studio. Is he on the project? But I mean, I guess if he's still in the studio, he wouldn't be. He would have to be on the project, but he's not in a lead role like he was in New Vegas, presumably. Wow. 2 snake eyes in a row. The duality of man. 2 nat 1s and then a nat 6. I'm not sure what else was even in the works at Obsidian, aside from, you know, continued support for Grounded. Obviously, I don't work there, so that doesn't... You know, I wouldn't know. Avowed 2 may have been preserved for later now by a tiny team. Unsure on Grounded, everything else is toast. Interesting. I actually am surprised that there was an Avowed 2, just because I know after its sort of initial success, it didn't trend. It's sort of, I think, according to Schreier's reporting, it was sort of long-term considered a bit of a flop, which is unfortunate, but definitely deserved better. But I guess if there was a sequel in the works until this, that does indicate more success and hope in the project than I had thought. Hello. The woman stands in full armor as she tinkers with an assortment of junk. Her head snaps around as you approach. Trying to decide if I actually want to give her a voice or not. I know my voice after the first stream was sort of shot after giving all these character voices, but then... The now cancelled Avowed sequel was apparently on track to be revealed in the next year, but did not fit into new Xbox CEO Asha Sharma's strategy. Thank you, Sharma. I think it had higher numbers than Outer Worlds 2. I think it had higher numbers than Outer Worlds 1. If I'm remembering correctly, which I might not be. Thank you, Asha Sharma. I feel like she's been going all over the place in terms of things, statements and decisions, because I know she's backpedaled a little bit on AI, but then obviously this sort of firing bloodbath is awful. I'll just give her a normal voice. Looks like you're lost, Wanderer. If you value your neck, I'd be lost someplace else. Wait, you're the Emberian, right? She turns to you, grimacing, and shoulders her greatsword with a clang. Another bounty hunter? As I told the last of you sods, I don't sail with the dark stars no more. I'll make her British. But I can cleave you in 2 all the same. Basalt sent me, we're on the same side. Basalt? So that old bastard put you on my trail, eh? The old sod never could keep his mouth shut. I'm looking for Vela, we've got to stop her. I'm looking for Vela, I want to help her. If I don't find Vela, I'm dead. Fantasy games often do better than sci-fi. I was going to say I thought that, you know, that's a surprise considering Mass Effect, but if I'm remembering correctly, Dragon Age was always actually more financially successful back when the two, back in the 2 series concurrent heyday. If I don't find Vela, I'm dead. Hearing Vela's name, she flinches. Vela? I'm done with that devil, you hear? And if you think I'll track her down just to save your sorry neck, you're dead wrong. Seems to me like you're scared of her. Ha! Scared? She leans towards you, sword scraping against armor. Damn right I'm scared, and you should be too. Do you think she got her reputation with stern words? I've seen her best a tavern full of ruffians with her good arm behind her back. I've seen her slice off the head of a void beast without breaking a sweat. I've seen her square up to a god. But she was also more than that. She was a sister to me. I owe my life to that girl. If she's such a devil, why did you idolize her? She shifts and looks away. Time was, I thought she really could make the world better. Little by little, with blood and sweat and grit, I thought we were doing it. She inhales, but then she found it. A map, buried in some Emberian tomb that pointed to something impossible. I told her to leave it, to not put her faith in ancient cursed things. She promised me. But she led us to our doom anyway. Vela plunged the dark stars beneath the clouds with our best ships, our flagship and galleon both, in pursuit of an Emberian artifact that was more likely to end the world than save it. On that day, she was not my sister. As captain of the Black Goblin, I told my crew to fire upon their comrades. We splintered the hull of Vela's ship with our cannons before we boarded and clashed swords. It was mutiny. Fratricide. Her fists are clenched tight, trembling. But while I stalled her plans that day, I couldn't stop her. She twists her mouth into a grim smile. I never could. What is Vela trying to find? Something called the Cradle, buried deep in the Underlands. What it actually is, we don't know, but if Vela's right, it could be used to alter the very language of the cosmos. That means she could end poverty, suffering, even death itself. But she's more likely to end the world. The Emberians were known to meddle with forces they couldn't control. She is a damn fool for chasing their accursed dreams. If you care for her, you have to find her. Do I? And what would you know of the matter? I sailed with Vela for years, while I've known you mere moments. What could you possibly know of our camaraderie? No, that chapter of my life is over. I will not chase that woman's dream any more, not to help nor hinder. I have a pilgrimage of my own to tread, my own answers to find. Will you at least answer my questions? I'll hear them. I can't promise to give them an answer. What is it you're looking for? She chuckles to herself. For a long time I've had the strangest dreams, of impossible cities that no mason could build, which twinkle with 1,000 tiny stars. I want to know if my dreams are real. I don't understand. She smirks. You wouldn't. And where would you find your answer? There's another Emberian ruin here in the Oniric Isles, even bigger than this one, but without the right key, it's sealed shut. And where would you get such a key? This type of key is rare. I paid a good sum of money for mine at that shop with the crystal spire in Hallowtown. But if you're thinking of following him in my tracks... It's actually something kind of throwing to me about if you're thinking of following. I don't... that's the writer-editor in me. Just... Anyway. But if you're thinking of following in my tracks, I'd think twice. That old Emberian ruin up by Rustford is likely full of perils. You'd only get yourself killed. Is it true you're a real Emberian? She flashes a cynical smile. If you're asking about if I'm a 400-year-old immortal who's been lugging my sword around the Sky Realms, I'll have to disappoint you. But there is some truth to those rumors. I know my way around those old Emberian ruins. Some even feel like home. And yes, this is authentic Emberian armor, pneumatics intact. This suit stopped a direct cannonball in the siege of Malavia. even if I did shit blood for a week. I said I was going to make her British, but instead I'm like slipping in and out of British, so really what I'm doing is giving her a New Hope Leia accent. I met with Basalt. He's helping me find Vela. The old sea dog's still going, eh? I half thought he'd drowned himself with mushroom grog. To tell the truth, I'd always respected the man. He was with us from the beginning, and I don't think the Dark Stars would have got far without him. Okay, that's all. She nods. Maybe I can help you. Ha! And what makes you think I'd need your help? I can handle myself just fine. Okay, I'll leave you be. For now. She smirks. Something makes me think you won't give up easily, but I won't be staying here long. And for your own sake, don't bother following me. The place I'm headed isn't for the faint of heart, and if you try and track me down, I'd only have another foolish death on my conscience. Besides, without one of these, she holds up an ancient Emberian key, you won't be getting very far. So sod off and leave me in peace. If I'm remembering correctly, I already bought that key, didn't I? Oh no, maybe... Wait. No, I did not. This is the swamp. This is for the Wiccan Island, I believe. Maybe I've unlocked a dialogue option to go back and talk to him. That might be it. Unfortunately, I remember things very well. I remember art very well that I've experienced, but there's always the small details that you forget. Yeah, there's Hallowshire. That might be something. If that's not related to this quest, it is semi-similar. I don't know. But then... Wait, did I get a... I don't think I... Pretty sure I did not buy the spyglass, but the other ruin that she's talking about is somewhere in that direction. Yeah. I think it's this, if I'm not mistaken. So obviously there are some harsh feelings, some hurt feelings over the betrayal of her ideals that the Emberian interprets Vela as having committed. Cute game map? Yeah, it's cool. Alright, Emporium of Oddities. I'm looking for an Emberian key. Looking for Emberian antiques, are we? Well, you've certainly come to the right place. I have a small collection of... No, that's a bit too upper crust. I feel like I should save that voice for... Whatever, I'm not gonna remember voices between streams. Who cares? Looking for Emberian antiques, are we? Well, you've certainly come to the right place. I have a small collection of bits and pieces from the relatively modest. He holds up a rusty piece of junk to the downright exquisite. He holds up another piece of junk. I need a key to open a nearby ruin. Ah, yes, I often get requests for keys. There are plenty of old Emberian ruins that, despite being hundreds of years old, have proved impervious to spelunkers and scavengers, so would-be treasure-seekers pin their hopes on a key. But there are innumerable old keys and innumerable old doors. As I tell most budding tomb raiders, actually opening one would be a matter of astounding luck. Although, there was a woman that came by not long ago who seemed to know exactly what she was searching for. What did she buy? She bought a key. She described its kind in very specific detail. Do you have another key? I want to buy one. He rummages around in a box of assorted metal parts. Aha! You were in luck, my friend! This Emberian key seems remarkably similar to the one I sold not long ago. Of course, what with this one being so high in demand, I wouldn't let it go for less than 20 coins. 20? You said it yourself, it probably wouldn't work. I suppose you're right. Tell you what, just this once you can have it free of charge. But if by some miracle you do find some treasure with it, let me take it off your hands. For a fair price, of course. Personally, I always wanted to test it in those Emberian ruins up past Rustburg. I have a hunch my previous customer had the same idea. Do you happen to know what direction Rustburg is in? So I can use my compass like a good explorer? Good and proper explorer, right and proper? Oh yeah, let's give that goblet to the thieves. Because I know that the thieves, the Rustburg ruins that he's talking about are occupied by thieves, by bandits, and I don't know if... Let's see. I don't know if actually fighting my way through them will end up making me kill too many thieves to be friendly with them. And I have decided that I want to be friendly with the thieves this playthrough, because I very much was not last time. When you are friendly, they'll let you sleep in a bed in their little hideout, and presumably you get some good stuff there. I mean, yeah, I guess fast travel. Fast travel back to the fortress and then sleep there. Once you get the airship, which you do get, you can you get a spell to teleport to the airship as well. So teleport home, teleport airship, and then all that other stuff. There's some cool ways to chain different types of fast travel together once you're in the end game. Have you ever played any of the wizardry games, old RPG blowbers? But the 8th and last wizardry game is very special to me. I have not. I've never played those. Well, what would you describe the style of that RPG to be, broadly? Chaining fast travel is very Morrowind, yeah. Well, I say yeah, I actually have not played Morrowind, which I should. I know I should. But yeah, no, this game definitely, you know, graphically is very Morrowind inspired. The idea of you know, traveling this kind of mushroom laden land, especially in Pwyll and Hallowshire, more so Pwyll, is Morrowind inspired. I know some, I guess, vague traits of Morrowind, but I have not played it myself, I think in part just because dealing with the sort of feeling of the first-person exploration, traveling, but the dice rolling to hit seems annoying to deal with. And so... because, I mean, you know, for all that this game does tout Morrowind inspirations, it does not do that. It is, You know, swing a sword, hit the enemy. Bob's your uncle. I don't even know... Where's Bob's your uncle come from? What does that mean? I know I could look it up. My mind is jumping to Bob Mortimer, who I only know specifically from Taskmaster. Wizardry 8 is basically a D&D party attached at the hip. You build a party of up to 6 and can recruit up to 2 NPC backups. Also is mixed in sci-fi. That's interesting. Mixed in sci-fi... could mean a lot of different things. I mean, D&D mixes in sci-fi. There's plenty of that to go around there. Is that the... I think that might be the house I bought, actually. Maybe we should check that out. Oh. Sorry, I actually don't want to kill you. I guess I'll just... Goodbye. It is possible to run past almost every enemy in the game. I don't know... Or at least you can try. I mean, some of the... Ooh, Rogue Hood. That's very good. I don't know if it's possible to run past the final boss. You know, some locations are a bit tighter, a bit of a tighter squeeze than others. But I don't know, maybe it is possible to just run past the final boss. I'm thinking of the setup right now, and I don't want to say it just because... Well, will we get there? I actually don't know if I'm planning on streaming this entire game. Mixed in sci-fi is that the game starts with a Wookiee taking on a spaceship and a Sarbeck and his robot army as the villains. Also, an entire character class is about tech. That's fun. I like when, you know, science fiction, fantasy combine as the diehard Star Wars fan that I am. Oh yeah, that's right. There's a little vault here. I'm thinking about, and I have to admit, I have not played any of the Ultima games. I just watched the Spoonie experiment videos, but I know lore skill's too low. Let's try boosting it. But I know that early Ultima is very like there's starfighters and stuff like that, and you can go to space, which is fun. Oh, cool. I forgot that it tells you that. I do think that, you know, it can be fun world building challenge wise to think about like proper sci-fi fantasy blends. Okay, yeah, this is player housing. This is the house we bought for 200 coins. Not this. This is the groundskeeper that they said refuses to leave. The old man sits whittling a block of wood, but when he sees you, he slams his instruments down on the table. So you're the bugger who bought this land, eh? I've been waiting for you. You made a mistake, yeah? This manor has an owner. I may just be a caretaker, but the Thornwood family still own this land, and they'll be back. I paid good money No, this place is clearly abandoned. It ain't. I'm the caretaker of this here manor, and I'm tending the grounds till the lady returns. He slumps back in his chair. Ah, but I see there's no point in reasoning with you. You're here to stay, and that's that. So let me give you some advice for your own good. Ezra Thornwood built this place some 400 years ago, but she had dangerous secrets. There are places on these grounds that are locked up tight, like the basement. Never unlock 'em. Never enter 'em. Promise me this, and we might just get along. Wait, what's this dark secret? You have to tell me. Nay, I've sworn a vow of silence to the Thornwood family. My lips are sealed. Now be gone with you. Enjoy your new purchase. I'll even stick around and tend the grounds just so long as you heed my warning. I want to upgrade the manor. If I were you, I'd leave it be, but I'll admit it's all fancy like it used to be. Maybe that'd be something. The Union installed a property station nearby. I'll let you commission upgrades for the manor for a price. Only don't let no workmen near the basement, you hear? There are places that shouldn't be tampered with. Alright, fine, I'll stay away from your creepy basement. I won't stay away from the creepy basement. Oh yeah, okay. There's a like a quest in this game, an optional quest where you have to go around the entire game map, and you basically need your airship for this, finding all of these skulls and touching them within activating them within a time limit, which I actually have done. Wizardry took until the 6th game to add it as a surprise twist at the end. That's fun. I guess you just spoiled it for me. This guy is very anti-basement. It's true. He, I mean, I think a basement killed his grandpa, so, you know, you gotta respect that. Welcome, Susie Cal Suze. Welcome. Maybe the basement of this house is like the monster house from Monster House. Which genuinely, I remember from that movie. I remember that movie actually freaked me out when I watched it as a kid. I don't even think I was that young when I saw it. I think maybe part of it was just sort of because it was like kind of that weird Uncanny Valley mocap style, and I think also just like the backstory of like what's really up with a monster house. I don't know. It affected me somehow. All right, home sweet home. The prospective or current owners of Thornwood Manor property. This cavern annex is in disrepair and has been sealed shut. Its refurbishment will be included at the garden upgrade available for purchase at a property station. Okay. I'll do that now, actually. That movie has vibes. It certainly does. At least from what I remember of it. I'll purchase the garden upgrade because that actually is a useful... There's the third type of fast travel is in that area. So there's the teleport home / teleport to airship spell. There are those portal platforms, and then there is a painting in that specific part of the manor that takes you to Hallowshire, right next to the teleport platform. Pretty sure I have to wait. Yeah, I gotta wait some in-game time before it actually happens. Is the... I can't even access the basement because there's that empty space there is where a door would be. Okay, yeah, I think I have to purchase the manor, the other manor upgrade, which I need more iron for, it looks like. That's okay. Where we're going, we don't need houses. By which I mean I'm not gonna be completionist-y on stream. Where we're going, we don't need houses. Me, when I decide to live in a van, live in an RV. Which does conceptually kind of appeal to me, although I'm sure I would get way too... I would miss the creature comforts of a proper home or apartment. Also, no idea what kind of internet access you can get there for if you were to live in a van. I know pretty much it does. So I don't know. He's whose work I am a fan of. And is responsible for me knowing about the baby geniuses thing that I mentioned in my raid video. Who are you? Breathe deep, stranger. Let the earthy scent fill your lungs. Smells awful. How dare you? This is the finest scent in all the sky realms. Spores fill this place. I cultivate mushrooms, the most ancient and beautiful thing that grows from this earth. Listen, man, I feel your pain. I like Spore, too. Fond memories. With one shroom cap, I could grant you wondrous visions. With another, an agonizing death. It's no wonder the Wiccans covet them so. Can I see your mushrooms? Ah, a fellow connoisseur, I see. I'll unlock the door for you. Just don't go tampering with the little orange ones unless you want your fingers to fall off. Very charming indeed. I'm assuming that what I did to say that was, I did the Puss in Boots big eyes thing. Well, I asked, where? I guess that must have been that place. Problem with unlocking stuff too early is you don't even know what you've unlocked for sure. But I'm pretty sure that room was it. Pretty sure if I go to the Wiccan place, yeah, Bone Key. Pretty sure that the Wiccans won't try to kill me. Maybe they will, I don't know. And look at that. The highlighted red ones are the actual visitable game world. Sounded like they wanted that mushroom wine. I actually don't think... It's not that guy. Time to get witches. Maybe. You're running through everything so confidently, and I'm so overwhelmed by what I'm looking at. I have played this before, which probably is a bit of a cheat for that, maybe. Dang. Whenever I lockpick in this game, and Whenever I lockpick in this game, I feel like I'm gambling, where it's like, okay, just one more, just one more, just one more, just one more. Next one will be the one. Next one, I'll get it next time. I'll get it the next time. I'll get it next time. And sometimes you do. I mean, it is literally a rolling a rolling a die. So, yeah, this is the god of the region, as I said earlier. Not gonna Not gonna bother with reading through all the lore books on stream, but yeah. Pagoth is the god of the Hallowshire region. Loot box, lockbox, yep. I mean, you know, if this game charged you real money for lockpicks, that would... Ugh. Luckily, I don't need to worry about not giving them ideas, because I can trust them to not... I hope. I don't know. Don't trust anybody, not even yourself. Oh, crap. It's this guy. These guys are strong. Not strong if you can't hit me. Alright. Part of what I'm hoping... Oh, yeah, okay, these are good. The brain plants. Part of what I'm hoping to do is... I wonder if I can get high enough with the Outlaws, which I keep calling the Thieves Guild, but they're called the Outlaws, if they just straight up won't attack me when I go to the Emberian, the ruin by Rustburg, where the Emberian is. I don't know if that's actually what'll happen. Those particular outlaws might not be factionally related. And if that's true, then there's actually no problem just killing them all, but... Okay, yeah, this is a Wiccan guy who you can sell the godlets to for favor with Wiccans. But I don't want to. At least not right now. I know there's another place on this particular island where there's like a Wiccan guy you can talk to. I think it's... Is it this place? You might actually need Wiccan... Yeah, you need to be friendly with him for that. That's okay. Ooh. Magic mirror. Oh. Okay, so we're back in Hallowshire. That must have been locked before. There's no way. I think you unlock it by going through it on the side that we just did. There's no way that... Okay, I remember this guy vaguely. The man in the corner has the most spectacular mustache you have ever seen. One's to make a walrus weep with envy. Yeah, Alex, that's the third... That is the third fast travel, the painting fast... Or, I guess mirror, really. There's one of those in the player housing in that area that I did the upgrade for. The man in the corner has the most spectacular mustachios you have ever seen. One's to make a walrus weep with envy. From behind them protrudes an indescribable device that might be the distant descendant of a pipe. His bearing is stiff, dignified, even as he sits alone, several empty glasses in front of him. Ah, don't be shy. That is a bold choice for me. I have no idea if I can keep up a half-decent Scottish accent, but we're gonna do it. He puffs on his pipe, dispersing a peculiar odor. It's my own invention, if you're curious. Recycles the tobacco juice and vaporizes it back through the system for further consumption. 17 times more efficient than a normal pipe. He lets out a wheezing chuckle. Imagine the savings! A single pouch used to last me months in the field. In the field? You were a soldier?
Pah, certainly not. You think a common soldier could have designed this? He waggles his mechanical pipe. I was a combat engineer, Lieutenant Artificer Drangorg, 17th Grease Guards, building and maintaining engines of war the likes of which you couldn't imagine. In the God War, you mean? Of course in the God War. You don't need a 4-story war engine to hunt poachers who've been taking too many rabbits, do you? No, we built machines to take the fight to the gods themselves, and we won. We saw action at the Battle of the Gates, as well as Black Rest Day, the retreat from Krasnograd, the Siege of Anpur. He sees your eyes glaze over. These are all just names to you, aren't they? If that. The military victories are fleeting. Well, how about the Battle of Aristide's Rock? You must have heard that one. Of course. Of course you have. You can bloody well see the busted-up engine of war if you look north past Puil. The war was almost over when we fought there, but that's the one that sticks with me. The one where I left behind, well, he sighs. You want to hear an old soldier's ramblings or not? Please, go on. I don't regret making this accent choice at all. Well, the war was almost over by the time we got to Aristide's Rock. No place at all, really, but some of them believers fled there with a god. On a god, in fact. And you've never seen a cornered god, have you? He frowns. No. Lucky you. Yeah, I mean, they're all... You got them all. You guys got them all. But we had our engine, the one Cornelius and I had been crewing practically since the start of the whole business. He pauses. Wait, did I not mention Cornelius? He was my commanding officer. Best there ever was. He had a real connection to the machine. He said I had flogged that thing through battle after battle till we knew it almost better than we knew each other. Anyway, the old engineer pauses, lost in thought, and his cheeks reddened a little beneath the pendulous mustaches. Excuse me, I lost my train of thought for a moment there. You don't need to hear the whole story. It's ancient history and better that way. I came back, most of us didn't, Cornelius and the war machine included. I imagine he's still there somewhere, what's left of him. None of us returned to that place, you see. Even if anyone wanted to return to that accursed rock, you need a powerful airship. He sighs. Really, what else is there to say? An embarrassed silence descends, and you get the feeling that this might have been the most Drangorg has said for some years, and about all he's going to be saying for tonight. Goodbye, Lieutenant Artificer. Drangorg gives a quiet nod and puffs his pipe. How come some British accents say lieutenant and some don't? I mean, I know there's like 50 different accents in England alone, or 50 is probably lowballing it, but still, like... Where's the F supposed to come from? English is a weird language. You know, it'd be interesting to go all the way back to New Obsidian Fallout game. What's Hawaii looking like in the Fallout universe? Because I know there's like, one of the DLC for 3 is in Alaska, right? And that's sort of about the war and how, you know, Canada was a front and all that. Or maybe it isn't Alaska. Maybe I'm wrong, but English is an open source language. Yes, very much so. Yeah, cipher charts. All right, cool. But Anchorage is Alaska, right? Or am I stupid? Maybe I'm stupid. But yeah, no. You know, there's obviously the Fallout London mod that was made. I know the game series is sort of more about America than internationally. I've seen... Technically, that DLC was a simulation of the Alaska front. Well, okay, but they, you know... It's based on a place that was real in lore. But
or a place and event that was real in lore. Don't worry, Alaska is not real in real life. But yeah, so in terms of like where in the United States, could we go that could be like an interesting new place to explore that the series hasn't touched on already? I mean, I guess, the series has only been coastal so far, so anywhere middle of America as well. New Orleans would be interesting. Because New Orleans is such an interesting city already. Just like, in real life. Seeing a Fallout set in New Orleans would be cool. New Orleans got passed around a lot a few years back. Well, they should consider it again. I don't know all that much about the behind-the-scenes sort of stories of various Fallout developments. I guess a lot of this is... It makes sense that a lot of these would be common knowledge, just because I'm sure the developers of all the various games... One more. Next will be... Okay, next one will be it. Okay, next one will be it. There we go. Gambling always works. Chicago has some vague lore. Oh, I didn't even need to buy a telescope. Perfect. Should probably level up dexterity again just to boost his dexterity, right? Guile is the one in this game. Okay. Guile is dexterity. You know what it is. Anyway, something about Fallout, New Orleans. Yeah, I don't know too much about the sort of different behind-the-scenes stories about what have and have not been considered for Fallout. I'm a big Bethesda head, so I know more than average. Alright, fair enough. Yeah, so New Orleans was considered. Hopefully they consider it again. Hopefully they go to the real Norco as well, included in the broader map. USP was half my internet time in my teens. Extremely valid. Yeah, that's Rustburg all the way over there. What other place? But yeah, Hawaii would also be really interesting to see in Fallout. I think if I had a personal wish list for where to go to next, be New Orleans and Hawaii. But definitely other places that I'm overlooking. Texas seems like kind of an obvious one, and I'm not that interested in Texas. Let's see. I mean, Florida could be interesting. New York would probably just be like that one part of Wolfenstein too. So I guess we kind of got it already. What other major places? I mean, I guess, on the West Coast, but we haven't been to San Francisco either, or Portland. Pacific Northwest Fallout, or Texas has the black spot of being the only Fallout game banished from canon. What explain, please. It sounds like there's a story there that I very much do not know. Fallout 4 almost was in New York. Fallout 4, you know what? I am glad it was in Boston instead, just because that's like just because it's less obvious. I say where no, San Francisco is big in too. Okay. I'm wrong. I talked to you already? The old man coughs violently, his body lurching with each expulsion. He spits blood and phlegm on the floor. My life flickers. My vision is gone. Who goes there? Are you the third come to relieve me? Yes, I am the third. Ah, but how could I be sure? Was there a password or some such? Oh, damn this memory of mine. Rest easy, old man. I will come back. Okay, so he'll open that when I convince him that I am the third. Yeah, see, me not knowing San Francisco was in Fallout 2 exposes me as not a real Fallout fan, because I have not played 1 and 2 yet. Although I do own them, so I should. I picked them up for free on Epic a while back, because I've been slowly accumulating a large library on Epic exclusively of the free games that they give away. And one of those times was... Fallout 1 and 2, and I think Tactics. Fallout Brotherhood was the last attempt to make money from Fallout before Bethesda bought the series. It's like rock and roll and sex in a cringe way. Hell yeah. Oh. I accidentally stumbled into a secret spot. I can only imagine what, like... When did Fallout Brotherhood come out? Like Teenage Cool, but it failed hard. Yeah. When did it come out? Because I can only imagine what, like, I don't know, late 90s, early 2000s, like, you know, rock and roll and sex was trying to be. What? Oh, okay. Okay, stuff was just loading on me, weirdly. Ah. Weird and boring gameplay. That might be another one that I have, actually, from the Epic haul. From the Epic free Fallout giveaway, so... 2004 was the year. Ah, and what a year that was. For sex and drugs and rock and roll, in a cringe way, specifically. I know there's, like, you know, a lot of nostalgia now for the 2000s specifically. And, you know, I get some bits of that, but, like, I don't feel like there's that much broad cultural stuff to really wax nostalgic for about that decade. Like, there, you know, specific things, sure, you know, huge Kingdom Hearts fan, you know, original Halo fan, you know, there's stuff, there are things, but the sort of, when I think about sort of what is the archetype of the pop culture of the decade for the 2000s, it just feels like kind of grody and nasty. As you said, you know, rock and roll and sex in a cringe teenage way. Okay, see, actually, I know what's down there, but I think if I go there, it'll be sequence breaking a different quest, and I don't want to do that. In some ways, it was a time before major quote-unquote modern problem. Yeah, well, I mean, you know, that's just true of whenever you specifically grew up. So, you know. Like, you know, it is. I will say, I think there is some stuff worth being nostalgic about regarding, you know, the internet of that era, but also not, because the internet of that era was also nasty. Like, the way that it worked was better, but the way people were on it sucked in a completely different way to how they suck now. Well, actually, that's not true. Many ways were the same in terms of, you know, the rampant bigotries and whatnot. But, you know, forums and, you know, niche websites rather than social media, that in the abstract is something worth wanting to kind of bring back. Miss the Flash games? That too. Alright, 10... That's 5? Okay, perfect. Outlaws now consider me friendly. Love it. That's exactly what I was looking for. And then... Hi there. You're what passes for an outlaw these days? He spits on the floor by your feet. Well, no matter, the bosses say you're alright, so I guess you're alright. You'll be wanting to practice your lockpick skills on that chest over there, or grab some shut-eye in the bed there. Help yourself to anything else you might find useful. Don't mind if I do. Yeah, so these sort of factional homes give you a thing that temporarily boosts skills in certain things. So for here, it's lockpicking, and actually, if you help the Apostatic Union, or if you become friendly with the Apostatic Union in town, then you get a thing that boosts charm, which pretty useful. And then the Wiccans have their own on that island. I don't remember what it is. Probably lore, if I had to guess. And it is possible to be friendly with all of them if you just spam godlets, you know, but I have not done that in the past. Speaking of Flash games, I have a very vivid memory. I think the first time I noticed that daylight savings was a thing, I was playing Super Smash Flash 2, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna stay up late and play Super Smash Flash 2, and I. Or, no, it was 1. Sorry, Super Smash Flash 1. Because 2's the one that was in, like, beta forever, right? So yeah, it was Smash Flash 1. Yeah, and so I was, like, staying up late playing that game, and then I was like, wait a minute. And I was, you know, getting ready to, and I stopped and I was getting ready to go to bed, and I was like, wait a minute. Daylight savings. We get an extra hour tomorrow. So then I just opened Smash Flash 2 back up again, and then I played it for another hour. And that's my, like, formative memory of knowing that daylight savings was a thing. That actually sounds about equivalent. I lost track of what that is in reference to, Alex. I was too busy thinking about Super Smash Flash, which has Mr. Incredible as a character for some reason. Smash Flash 2, it's gotta be technically finished, right? I haven't checked on it in years, but it is either finished or abandoned, I would assume. The faction bonuses. Yeah, I mean, it depends. Really, it's just like, you know, it's different. They are equivalent levels of bonus, but it's different skills that open different doors for you. Lockpicking or charm both seem to open doors. Exactly, they do. It's just different. It's just different doors. Yeah, because charm lets you open up like specific doors that have Clockwork Kingdom, like servo skulls, basically on them. Well, am I okay? I am leveled up. Let's bring Guile up. And lore lets you do those candles that you might have seen earlier. Some of those candles you need higher lore skills to do those, and those open secret doors. And then strength. There are some doors that you just have to ooga booga break down with a big punch. So far, I'm pretty sure that the lock picks are the most common, but okay, wait, what is this? This feels like a deep dungeon that is not the one that I specifically was interested in doing right now. I cast Fist, exactly. Good evening, Platui. Zero Platui 17, I have to assume that you are the secret lost, DuckTales, kid. Right? Huey, Dewey, and Louie, and then Platui. I assume if I were actually in a room with everybody, everyone would be laughing hysterically at that good joke. Very good joke. Okay. I've ended up in underground mushroom land, which is not where I had intended to go, but that is the classic Elder Scrolls and Elder Scrolls-like experience. Oh, just as I was talking about it, there's the... Yeah, you lack the might to break this. This is what you cast Fist against. I forget if there is a faction that lets you... Ooh, this is... I forget if there's a faction that lets you, I mean, there must be, that gives you a strength bump. Oh, I've never thought about it that way. It's just a non-disgusting enunciation of how one would spit. I see the vision now. I see the vision now, and I understand exactly what you were going for. Okay, so I guess this is just the butterfly mines, where you can get ore, kill butterflies, and other things. The goblins, that's what they are. I feel like in my memory there were outlaws here. It's no. I'm just gonna assume I remembered wrong. I don't want to. I was gonna say maybe the game registered I'm friendly with the outlaws and put different enemies in, but I think it's more likely that I'm just wrong. Come on. Alright. Next one will be it. It'll be the next one. Definitely the next one. There we go. I was right. The bow feels extra odd for not having a body? Yeah, it does. Yeah, I'm actually just I'm telekinetically hovering all my weapons in front of me like Kreia at the end of KOTOR 2. Ooh, a ring of stone skin. I think this is my first accessory this playthrough. Oh, perfect, perfect. Okay. Finally, I have a second spell slot. Wait, where is it? Here we go. Okay, these are belts. What are my... okay. Charm is 30. What is that from? Okay, it's from the cap. Don't know how to get out of here. Did you guys see the layoff news? I presumably, yeah, I know what you're talking about. That, you know, a ton of Microsoft studios have had huge layoffs, including Obsidian and Double Fine and Compulsion are spun off and independent. Unless there's additional just now breaking news that you're referring to. Because I have not seen anything new beyond that. Awful feels like a lot of these studios are going to be left to fail at half staff. Very possibly. Very possibly, yeah. I mean, I know when it comes to, like, Obsidian and Double Fine, both of them, you know, I was nervous about them joining Microsoft because I was nervous about what could happen. But both of them characterize those acquisitions as sort of being necessary for the company's successes, and, you know, given Obsidian's initial disappointment with how Pillars 2 sold, and how, you know, Double Fine, I mean, whatever creative talents he may have, Tim Schafer is not great at managing projects effectively in terms of budgets and whatnot. At least that's my understanding. You know, I guess it's nice no studios were closed outright yet. Yeah, I think it's only a matter of time for some of them, which sucks. But don't worry. Don't worry. There will be more money for the C-suite. I know you were worried that C-suite would also be in dire straits, and I want to reassure you that they won't be. They'll be fine. You can rest easy. Games cost cash. Very true. How do I get up there? First of all, how do I get up there? Second of all, I don't know what that lever actually did. It opened a door somewhere, I'm assuming. Fun fact is, it has never been admitted to, but Morrowind was essentially funded by scamming investors. That is an extremely fun fact. That's very that's awesome. I love stories when scamming can be done for good and not for evil. This is a completely different situation, but it reminds me of the stories about, like, Mel Brooks and studio notes, where the studio would give him notes and they'd be like, "All right, you got to change this." He's like, "All right, I'm changing it. It's done." And then he would end the meeting and he would do nothing. He would just tear up the notes. If only my scam caller could produce Morrowind. Yeah. You're right, Platooey. But you know what? I bet that if you give them the money they're asking for, maybe they will make Morrowind. But for legal reasons, I'm not actually suggesting that you do that. Bethesda Studio created their own parent company, then went to investors claiming to own a studio that had developed a number of successful games. So they were like, they basically, like, were like children impersonating their parents to, like, approve something. Would that have been Bethesda, though? Is that... Because wasn't that still was that was it Black Isle or was it if it's not Black Isle, I'm forgetting what the studio name was. They sold some of them correct because they didn't think they would be a good fit for Xbox. You mean recently? Well, they sold. They let go of companies they'd already bought. No, the lie wasn't they made games; it was that a company existed who owned them. Well, but what I'm asking is like what I like if this is oh, okay, no, yes, you're right. No, oh my all right, no, I'm silly. I'm dumb. And I'm a goofus. You're talking about Morrowind. For some reason my mind was going up to Fallout, which that would be Black Isle. Bethesda was always Morrowind. Morrowind was always Bethesda. Okay. All right. Recalibrating. Streamer brain gameplay distraction. I blame it on the boogie. Oh, this must be what the lever opened up. Okay. Glorious Silk. I think we'll upgrade my hat to a better charm hat, which is good. The better your charm skill in this game, the better your character can sing the songs from the album Charm by Clairo. I saw recently I think like that album cover on like a performative male like starter pack meme, and I was like, oh, okay, well I like that. I like that album. I like that album because I like 70s the sort of 70s soul throwback productions because Elliot Roberts, the sort of Beatles YouTube guy, made a video talking about how good the album was, and so I listened to it, and I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. So that guy, I guess, made me a performative male by making me like the album Charm by Clairo. So. Okay. So that is in case we die. This takes us all the way to the end of this sort of dungeon area that I completely forgot about. I mean, this is full on, you know, Gandalf, I have no memory of this place. But I must have done it before. As long as you don't have any other performative male traits, you should be okay. Just never drink matcha. What if I've told you I have, in the past, drank matcha? I have drank matcha like twice. Am I doomed? Am I cooked, chat? As they say? Am I saying that right? I do think a lot of this whole performative male oh no, it's too late. I'm sorry. What's oh like poo, that's not honey. It's performative male juice. I was looking forward to State of Decay 3, was really excited with some trepidation when they showed gameplay a while back, was worried it was another Veilguard, then the layoff news came out. Yeah, that sucks. I'm not. I never played State of Decay, so that's not something I've ever had my eye on. Matcha is grass. Changed my mind. Um, I mean, it was the 2 times I drank it. It was tasty. There is kind of like texture wise. I can see that. Okay. I have delayed long enough. I made friends with thieves. Did I get another goblet? I feel like I should turn that in just in case. I'm panicking. Okay, I don't think I have. Although, yeah, it's probably worth it to see if I can upgrade anything with the stuff I've got yet. Where's the... Garments, how to upgrade my clothing. Crafting state. Okay, it's in the weapon shop. Alright. I thought that was like a separate thing for clothing, but... I think I... Yeah, I think I just do... I just do this, yeah. Modest cap. Oop. And... extravagant hat. Nice. Okay. Might as well upgrade this as well, why not? Can upgrade the sword, I can upgrade the bow, upgrade the armor, but I won't. You can't make me. Looks gnomish. The fancy hats. Maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit garden gnomey. Okay. Go to sleep. Get the buff, re-up the buff, and now we are on our way to that ruin in Rustburg. And if the outlaws there that we are supposed to be friendly with attack, then that is their own choice. Do you have something for me? While the countryside starves from the famine, the merchants here are just as rich and... Okay, so this is just... You can steal from merchants if you want, which is true. There it is, I believe. It actually is probably worth... Well, you can buy an apathetic union passport. The things in so to access each region in this game, you need a separate apathetic union passport, and you can buy them from some merchants, which I might do, because I need a new one for Clockwork Kingdom after I've reconnected with the Emberian and also the Endless Realm. What studio is State of Decay? Platui. Okay, I got completely sidetracked. But I did get good ore, so that's good. As I said, that's just the classic Elder Scrolls-esque experience. Look at that. Look at the... Look at that. Look at that spider cannon. Love the Clockwork Kingdom. Definitely my favorite section of the game, largely because of the area quest. I think in Hallowshire, the Emberian's part of the main quest is better than the area quest. Well, the area quest is still pretty good, but in Clockwork Kingdom, the actual, like, goings-on of the kingdom itself are very cool, and I am very excited to get there and stream it for you. Oh, I didn't even need to go up here. Ugh. There is one glaring flaw in this gameplay. I mean, aside from just the fact that it's relatively basic to just click to sword strike, it would be that... Oh yeah, okay, yeah, there's the guy. That guy will take us into the Clockwork Kingdom. It would be that the key binding for blocking is F. It's very easy to forget that the key binding is F instead of right-click, because right-click is spells. Which, I mean, alright. I could very easily just rebind it and not complain. But then, I wouldn't get to complain. So you can see the moral choice that I am faced with here. Oh yeah, alright, now we're in the... now we're in action zone music. Let's go. Do I want... The thing about these points, these save points, is that that is where you set your home teleport to. So if I set the home teleport, then I can't just warp back to town when I'm done. But if I die, then I go back to town and have to do that all again. Well, Al on Z. As 10th Doctor says. I don't even know what that means, I just know from Doctor Who, which I've watched exactly one full Doctor of, and also Matt Smith. Very much a filthy casual of that franchise. Hi there. What's going on with you, sir? Oh, look here, this is my tree, and that's my loot, so get lost, yeah? Do you live here? I've been here for 60 years before the damned apostates blasted the place to smithereens. What is this town? Time was, this town was called Rustburg on account of all the merchants selling Emberian junk. You see, there's an old Emberian ruin up there, and plenty of detritus. Though in all the time the town's been here, they never did crack open the big old doors. Some of that magic metal still holds tight, no matter how many cannons you blast at it. Why is this place such a wreck? Well, about 40 years ago was the God War. The apostates, I guess we call them the Union now, caught wind of some Wiccan holdouts and blasted the whole town with a fortress ship. Hallowtown was fine, so most folk just moved there. Nobody ever rebuilt Rustburg. Thanks for the story. It's alright. Do you know a way into the town? You need to get into that big stone tower there, but there's two ways around, see? You can go the long way with all the goblins and moths, or you can go the special way. Can you tell me the special way in? Well, I guess you seem like an alright sort. You got a really gnome-looking hat on. When there were Wiccans living here, they hid the nearby bridge with magic. It's right there, but you can use a truth potion to see it. Lets you sneak past all those gobbos real good. Okay, thanks. Guess I might as well, I already did that, okay. Now, I could just take a guess, but, I did just make that calculated decision to not hit that save point. I would have guessed wrong. Okay. C, yeah, C. Hit control. I've been playing a little bit of Thick as Thieves, and the control scheme for that game has control to sneak. Pretty decent game, but it is, as I think most who have heard of it have seen, there's only 2 levels that you have to replay over and over again. And they're just sort of hoping that, I guess, it'll be successful enough to earn them enough money to justify an additional... I was promised no gobs or moths on this path. 2 out of 5 stars. Yeah, that guy was a little bit of a liar, wasn't he? Anyway, yeah. So, Thick as Thieves. Well designed. It plays fun. So, plays very, arcane im sim. Oh boy. Come on. Next one. And that'll be the next one. Nice. Always keep gambling. This is not financial advice. Okay, already got that. ABG, always be gambling. It is somewhat the case that, like, a lot of the economic developments recently are the only way to actually make money is to gamble or scam people, which sucks. Okay. Are you guys going to fight me? No, you are not. So no encumbrance in this? Seems like you just pick up everything. I don't think there is encumbrance. I don't remember that ever being a mechanic in this game. I don't see anything in, like, stats or whatever indicating that it would be. Oh, the Apostatic Union and Wiccans dislike me. Interesting. I don't even know how that happened. Maybe just being friendly with the Outlaws. That's interesting. I actually didn't know that. Sneaking in non-hostile environments is very funny to think about when seen. Yeah, I actually don't know if this is non-hostile. You know what? Might as well check it out. Are you hostile? Okay, you're not. Perfect. Okay, yeah, my whole thing about trying to ingratiate myself with the bandits completely paid off. They do not care. So yeah, no, yeah, you're right. Sneaking on hostile environments is very funny to think about when seen. Yeah, I'm just sort of crouching around. They're like, hey, Hey, man, we don't care that you're here. It's all cool. Don't worry about it. It's chill. Oh, shit. Nope, they do care. Oh, fuck. That guy cares. He cares about me breaking his favorite box. Sorry. I'm just so used to, normal video game logic of go ahead and loot everything you want from my place right next to me that I did not think... I did break that guy's box, yeah. I mean, look, fair. I will... Listen. I take accountability. Alright, I'm getting my ukulele. And I'm going to take accountability for breaking that guy's box. I shouldn't have done it. And here we are, the Emberian ruin. I mean, this game definitely blends sci-fi with fantasy, going back to wizardry, as we were discussing earlier. I mean, look at this all rusted. Considering this game's look and style, it is very interesting to count what this game shares with Avowed. Yeah, I mean, what are you thinking of when you say that? Just out of curiosity, because there's a few things I can think of, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely going for more of like an aesthetic throwback, which for budgetary reasons makes perfect sense. I mean, Avowed itself was a little bit low budget and janky feeling for a double A, triple A game, but obviously this one is much more low key and indie in its production and its style. It is funny to think about how, a lot of retro stylings are done for purely practical reasons. I mean, not purely, but they're especially justified by practical reasons. Seems to be on type of Hell/Mana Potion, the flower picking style upgrade, focus on gear. I mean, the gear upgrades for skills, is definitely a more simplistic version of what's in Avowed. Hello, Emberian. We meet again. The Emberian breathes heavily, leaning on her sword. I could tell you were a persistent one. Though I have to admit, I didn't think you'd make it in here. Still, you're lucky I got here first. These synthetics would have torn you limb from limb. She grins. What a surprise! This is pure coincidence. Oh, I'm sure. This place has been sealed up for hundreds of years, and suddenly two key holders open it up at the same time. Now stay out of my way. Behind that door are the answers I seek. I've just got to catch my breath. I do think this music is maybe a little bit overdramatic if you've ingratiated yourself to the outlaws and you are not, in fact, fighting your way here for the most part. I thought this was a side area. I didn't realize I was actually opening up the door, but cool. Alright. One type of potion in the animation for it. Ah, we've got the emotional music change here. The Emberian kneels, head bowed, sagging beneath the weight of her armor. Her body convulses, After a moment, you realize she's quietly sobbing. Hearing you approach, she falls silent. Is that a corpse? She sighs. It is. Whether they were once alive, breathing the same air as us, I cannot say. You know, she found me in one of these places. In one of those coffins. It was Vela. She was 8 years old. When she pulled me out of that machine, coughing up ancient fluids, I couldn't have been much older. Nothing to explain who I was, how I got there. Just an inscription on the vat which read, Orlaith. So that's what they called me. Very Morrowind Dwemer. Yeah, there's, I think you can definitely draw those parallels between the Emberians and the Dwemer. I mean, including the fact that there's some theorized... I think at this point in the game it's only theorized mucking about with reality causing the civilization to disappear going on. So yeah, that's definitely some direct inspiration there. And so I was born into this world. I was lucky. Vela's father took me in and schooled me like his daughter, but I never found anyone who could explain my strange birth. I never found anyone like me. I thought this place might be different from the others. I thought it might explain something, but it's just another dead end. So you really are an Emberian? Who can say? Perhaps before the world end I was raised by a loving family who thought I'd be safe here. Or maybe I'm just a child of machines and magic. I'll never know for sure. I understand that now. But though none of these rusted tombs have given me answers, each one has fueled my anger. The Emberians threaded the needle through the world, altering its tapestry to their whims, and for what? The more I learn, the more I see their greed, their self-interest, their lust for power. And in the end, it destroyed them. It destroyed our world. Scholars can debate over scant evidence for an age, but who doesn't feel the truth in their guts? 400 years ago, the Emberians caused the world rend with their feckless ambition. One might almost compare them to the Dwemer. That is their legacy, and I feel the weight of their sins. The Emberians are long gone. Yeah, so this is why you turned on Vela. Yeah, because she wanted something. She wanted an Emberian thing that could mess with the world again. So this is why you turned on Vela. You're right, she sighs. At first, I thought Vela would simply listen to me. We had often plundered harmless Emberian relics while leaving that which seemed unstable or dangerous. Why would this be any different? But the map we found and the artifact it promised, they rekindled something in her, a passion, an ambition that could not be quelled. She was determined to change the world, even if it meant dooming it. She unfurls her hands, staring at them. So what options did I have left other than my sword? I spilled the blood of my friends, my family, and still I failed. You've got the, we're going to stop Vela, we're actually going to help Vela, and sort of non-committal, we'll do some kind of vague mission. I mean, this definitely does imply stopping her more than not, but throughout the game, as you talk to Vela's former crew, there's definitely this sort of dichotomy of talking about helping her, talking about stopping her, and leaving it more up in the air. She sighs. For a moment, she is still. But then she looks at you, a fire in her eyes. You're right. For too long I've clung to the past, felt like I owed Vela something, but this is bigger than the two of us, bigger than anything else. If I have to kill my sister to save the world, so be it. Just promise me one thing. If against the odds we manage to fight our way to Vela, leave her to me, okay? It's settled then. She nods. I'll help you. I'm the only other person in the Sky Realms who saw the map Vela's following, so I know where to find her, but we'll need others. I heard you captured Vela's old fortress, the Blinding Light. I'll make my way there. Oh, and thank you. No problem. Yeah, Vela's old crew has very strong bonds with her, even though they have gone their separate ways. And if I'm remembering correctly, the Emberian has the strongest bond with her by far. But there is something about Vela's backstory that not revealed yet, and I won't say specifically, but it adds an extra tragic layer to this idea of the Emberian and Vela being sisters, at least in the Emberian's eyes. Actually, it's not that far off, the reveal of what's going on, but we'll get there when we get there. If we get there. Again, not playing completionisty, I say, as I run all the way around this out-of-the-way area just to get a health potion. Treasure. Okay. There's that other locked door, and I don't recall how to get in there. Where is the other side of that? I don't know. Well, that is one Vela crew member found and recruited. Let's see. Who's got the passport? Not you. Not you. I know if we do the quest for the not mayor, what's the, keep forgetting the name of the polymath, that's what it is. If we do the quest for the polymath, I believe he'll give us a passport, but don't necessarily want to commit to that. Do you have it? You do. Wonderful. All right. So we can now go to one of the other kingdoms at any time. But that we will do next time. So I'm just wondering, do I want to call it here? Or do we want to do the area quest? The sky looks like dragon fruit juice. A little bit. I mean, it's definitely meant to be sort of... I mean, the stars are called neuron stars, and, you know, this sort of neural connection implied with the other stars off in the distance there. So the implication is definitely that we're sort of... And I think this is another possible Elder Scrolls reference or inspiration, that we're sort of within the head of some larger thing. But actually, the game never directly addresses that, which is cool. It's just like something you can guess about. It'd be really cool if this game had more sort of active, like Elder Scrolls level active, like fan discussion, fan communities and stuff. That's true of like every indie game that that is good. Just the nature of the beast. And I do think about that a lot, about and that's sort of why my approach in sort of like, video essay, game analysis stuff is to try to be, as respectful and in-depth about whatever I cover, even if it's something that I don't like very much, or even if it's something, and that's kind of what my raid video was about, and I have zero respect for that game, but I have done some work on some games. Only one that's, like, out, and it's very small, and because I am trying to sort of keep my Echo Bazaar identity separate from my real identity, I will not be disclosing what this game is, but, it's a very small project, and, I put a lot of work into it, and every game is like that to some extent. And so, out of respect for that, I want to honor that as much as I can, even though there are plenty of games that just don't grab me enough to make me really want to do that. But I can still recognize, like, oh, a lot of work was put on this. Well, now I really want a Wizardry 8 video because that lore got lots of ideas people don't discuss. Well, I promise nothing, because I have not played it. I barely know anything about it beyond what you have told me tonight. But what you've told me sounds cool. What am I... I'm just sort of... Okay, let's go to the castle. Respect and professionalism, yeah. Important. Meant to be read with a comical pout. Alright, let me reread that. Well, now, I really want a Wizardry 8 video because that lore got lots of ideas people don't discuss. I don't know, that didn't sound so much comical pout as much as snobby. I don't know, whatever. As much as I am trying to sort of give voices to characters while I'm playing this game, I'm not a voice actor, so... Certainly not a professional one. Good enough. Alright, cool. Alright, these guys. Every time I see these guys, I'm like, oh no, not these guys. Because they hit hard when they hit you, so don't let them hit you. Ah, I've unlocked a bed. That's good commentary. That's what you come that's what you come for. I actually feel like this section of the game, this castle specifically, kind of reminds me of the bits of Tainted Grail that I liked, which, you know, I definitely have mixed feelings about overall, especially given the AI allegations. Oh, I didn't even need to buy the passport. I could have just found it. Oh, whatever. Saves me the trouble of having to get the second one. It would be an interesting game to see someone approach from a lore/story perspective. You do a lot, and it does have themes, ideas, and twists to it. As I said, no promises, but I will do what I can to at least look into it. Good bed. It's an okay bed. Definitely better ones. AI allegations. Yeah, I discussed the Tainted Grail stuff very briefly in my video, mostly about Clair Obscure's AI use. I mean, it's as I said there, it's a sort of thing where it's like they haven't admitted to anything, but some of the screenshots people have used look pretty suspect. But I don't want to sort of jump the gun on something. Like, you know, I hate generative AI so much, but I also am wary of, like, being too willing to, like, to make accusations about it just because, I don't know. Maybe I just try to assume good faith too much, at least when it comes to works of art. My brother saved over that halfway through, and I never returned. To Tainted Grail, you mean, Alex? Have you come from outside? It's not safe out there. There's things out there. I saw them out my window. They were like... I think I killed them. I mean, they'll respawn, but, you know. You can come out now. Witch hunts go bad fast. Exactly, yeah. And I don't want to start that, but I did feel obligated to at least mention some of the stuff that that I've seen about it, just because I did make a video about it. So, you know. Yeah, AI arts can be hard to detect. AI art detectors aren't that good. Well, that's also... correct me if I'm wrong, and I say this all the time. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I might be. But the AI art detectors rely on AI to detect, and those can just hallucinate based on assuming that you want it to say yes or no, right? Yes, Tainted Grail, I wish I liked the NPCs more. So many are just kind of nasty people. Yeah, I mean, that's the world. I think it, yeah, is what is. I mean, I know for, like, AI writing detectors, at the very least, I don't know if art detectors have had the same problem, but AI writing detectors are very unreliable, and is basically just like, hey, ChatGPT, did someone use this? Did someone write ChatGPT? Did someone use ChatGPT to write this? And then, like, half the time it'll just be like, oh yeah, because you're, like, expecting it to... It's expecting... It thinks you want it to say yes. Not sure, but I check several arts and get varied results. Yeah, well, probably, as Alex said, a bit of a scam. But anyway, point to bring up Tainted Grail is that there were bits of it that I really liked, as I said in the video, especially in Act 2, and this section of Dread Delusion feels a little bit like some of the bits for that. Specifically the Sagramore one. I just got here, so I don't know if this topic already came up, but any specific thoughts about the Microsoft layoff? Seems like some studios got wiped out and some others spared mostly, but who knows? Yeah, we did talk about this already. And, I mean, yeah, other than it just sucks. You know, that's sort of the conclusion. But yeah, I do hope that the studios that are independent can remain independent. And, you know... I mean, in my Zero Parades video, which everyone should watch if you haven't, you know, I was like, you know, New Zom is far from the worst game company out there. And, like, immediately Microsoft proved my point, because, like, for everything that, you know, that the, you know, New Zom management has been accused of by the original Disco leads... Microsoft just did that worse, like, 10 times, like, 100 times over, like, just now, you know? Like, it does, it does feel especially, like, potently stinging for it to happen in Zom specifically, but in terms of, like, the scale of, you know, the badness, it doesn't really compare. Yeah, I mean, it's just more of a, like, we expected better from Zom than it is, like, this is the worst thing that has been done. So, anyway, let's talk to this guy. Greetings, stranger. If I were you, I'd leave this accursed place. Leave and not look back. What's wrong with this castle? Can you not sense it? Hallow Castle has been stricken with a terrible curse. Foul creatures stalk the land while our Duke writhes in agony. It all started when that damned Wiccan came to our aid. I'll tell you, the plague was better than this. If you insist on lingering, a word of advice. Things are not what they seem. Those large paintings are mere illusion. You can walk right through them. If you have some Jitterseed and Paradoxius, you can brew a potion to see through the illusion. So I guess if we didn't already have the recipe for the truth potion, he would just give it to us. And there's some brewing stations right here, which is very convenient. Who are you? Just a humble servant. The last in the Duke's employ, it would seem. Anyone with any sense has already fled. I'll be going. Remember, stranger, the paintings are not what they seem. Fun. You can even see right here. Didn't even need a potion for that one. Wow, they really pushing the truth potion. Nice hat, Mr. Servant. Yeah, I think this guy... Definitely a bit similar. But mine has a feather, so... Oh. That painting is not... That painting looks a little bit different. Ow. He's got a charm level 2 hat. Yeah, exactly, but mine is level 3. You fool. You rapscallion. Hi. Tired eyes peer from a weathered face. The man wears the garb of a Wiccan priest, old and tatty. Whoa, what's this, an intruder? How did you get into the keep? There wasn't exactly anyone to stop me. But the royal guard? Deserters all. Then... I suppose the ruination of this place is complete. I tried to read this place in illusion magic to conceal the decay, but there's only so much a simple charm can do. The castle rots, its bones laid bare. What's wrong with this castle? The man lets out a long, haggard sigh. A dread bargain. It was supposed to save these people, not to... He gulps. Not to doom them. Some years ago, this castle was beset with a terrible plague. Even the Duke's son was afflicted. The apostatic union wouldn't help, so the people turned to a local god. but Peguth demanded tribute. So my coven sent me to facilitate a contract. Peguth's spell would be sustained by a sacrifice not of life, but of pain. The Duke obliged. Even now, a poison engulfs him in perpetual agony, so that the plague may be kept at bay. But his life force weakens, the god's spell finds new ways to take due payment, and the isle grows ever more cursed. I have deliberated for many months on what to do. My conscience is heavy with the weight of it, but for things to change, something awful must occur. There must be a way to resolve this curse. Resolution? It is a comforting thought, I admit. Behind that painting lies a secret room. It holds a sacrificial poison, the same one that flows through the Duke's veins. The dosage is exact. An overdose would be lethal. If the Duke were to die more, he would die, voiding the contract entirely. The madness would end, but the plague would return. But there is an alternative. If a second sacrificial victim could be found, the god would be satiated. Equilibrium could be established once more, though Peguth's taint would never fully vanish. But I grow weary of this business. I do not have the heart to inflict more pain. I could administer the poison on your behalf. He is silent a while. Perhaps that is the wisest choice? My indecision has let this castle rot. Perhaps you could be the one to save it. Very well, I will open the door to the poison. The Duke is at the top of the keep. To enter, you must walk through an illusory wall. Was there anything else? You're a Wiccan, no? Why are you here? I suppose there's be no point in hiding it. That would be an insult to us both. I am an emissary of the Wiccan Coven of the Worm, sent to oversee godly contracts. Our dance moves are impeccable. Even a simple prayer to a lowly deity can be a dangerous thing, and a Wiccan priest can act as a middleman of sorts. Of course, these days it is a dangerous business. Since the God War, our covens are scattered and secretive. Each one of us could face a terrible death were the Union to find us. Unless things change, it is only a matter of time before the Inquisition finds me here. I will, of course, be tortured. I will, of course, tell them everything. If I had the courage, I would end my life now, but I am a coward. Farewell. Well, we can end this curse and let rot return to the land, or find someone else to take it up and share the burden. Hold on, did he, Yeah, terrible. Yeah, so this is one of the things that can happen when you deal with gods in this game. Also, earlier I was using magic to make these statues stand up. I presume if my charm was not high enough there, I could have just made them all stand up and have the door open up without his consent. Okay. People in chat. I pass the question off to you. Do you wish to find... I know what we would do in order to find someone else to share the burden of this curse so that the plague doesn't come back. Do we do that, or do we have the king, or have the Duke here die so that this sort of half-life just ends? Let's do... give me a 1 for find someone else. Give me a 2 for end the curse. Actually, where is the other Sharing is caring. That is true. Where is the other person, actually? So it sounds like 2 votes for sharing the curse rather than ending it. Well, see, that's actually a problem because I can't find the person. Where is the person? Is it here, maybe? Yeah, here it is. Okay. Let's talk to him first. We got anyone else who wants to vote? Or wanna... Or any objections? Okay. Nick Wilson objects. I mean, spell's been unequipped. What does that mean? Okay. Here's the Duke. Pained groans emanate from the helmet. The man writhes, clearly in agony. He does not seem to notice your presence. Greetings. The man inhales sharply, his head slowly turning towards your own. Contrarian three-party vote from the top rope, yeah. I am the Duke of Hallowshire. State your business. What's wrong with you? For a moment, the Duke simply releases a pained moan. I am offering a sacrifice of my own. Pain, so that my dukedom and my son may live. Can I help? Only that bastard Wiccan may help me now. Let's see, I don't know if saying this will lock us into it. But, alright, sorry, I said 1 was share it and 2 was end it, right? I'm pretty sure that's what I said. Greetings. I don't often get many visitors up here. I am Thomas Hardwick. I almost said Tomas, but that would be spelled without the H. I am Thomas Hardwick, son of the Duke of Hallowshire. Pleased to make your acquaintance. There's something very wrong here. Indeed, we are trapped in a spell, a contract with the god Pageth, negotiated by the Wiccan in this castle. So long as my father bears a burden of sacrificial pain, the castle and the surrounding village will be free from the plague. Except, the spell has changed over time. As my father weakens, his subjects develop increasingly bizarre habits and deformities, not dissimilar to those monsters that roam the ruins to the west. Uh-oh! Guess I've been killing his subjects. I'm fearful of the future. If I could lend my aid in some way, I would do so gladly, even if it would mean bearing the pain that my father endures. Was there anything else? So yeah, he's the one who would share it, who would share the pain. And I do feel like this is, a temporary solution at best. But, well, democracy has been enacted with 3 votes cast. And we will have him, and sharing is caring. Well, at least you got some money out of it. Yeah, I mean, I think that I did actually do this choice in my first playthrough. I think I have some somewhat complex thoughts about this choice, which is good. That's what you want in an RPG choice. But I think that to some extent, it is good to not have a plague around. I demand a recount. Well, hello, P. You did not vote. Would you like to cast a tie-causing vote, or would you like to reinforce the, sharing the pain, sharing the curse? And if you do cause a tie-causing vote, then we'll have to hope that someone else comes in here. What are we voting on? Oh, perfect. Okay, now it's an odd number. Susie Cal Suze, Okay, all right, Susie Kelsus, you are now the tie-breaking vote. So in this scenario, this is an outrage. Oh man, yeah, we're about to have we are about to have a serious serious stop the steal happening right now. So what's going on is there is a curse over this castle. Well, there's a bargain made with a god over this castle to have to basically keep a plague at bay by having the Duke constantly in pain. And the curse has sort of curdled a little bit, and now people around the... Yeah, exactly, stop the count. And now the people who are in the dukedom are sort of turning into monsters and stuff like that. So the curse is... I keep saying curse. The deal is going sour, and so... we can either kill the Duke and end the curse, but have the plague come back, or we can give this poison to the Duke's son, or which will sort of share the burden and make the curse go back to what it was supposed to be, if you trust that it will last for a while. Which it might. You know, I mean, one of the things about this game is that one of the things about the lore in this game is that the various deals you make with gods for benefits like this are often have a pretty rough price, but they work. You know, and in the village of Pwyll, the chat decided not to go with such a deal, but that doesn't necessarily mean that every single instance of encountering a god deal would or should go the same way. So, Susie, you are our new deciding vote. We got some late arriving mail-in votes. It's like a song with some ice and some fire, only a little bit of each. Just a little bit. Just some. Or you know what? I'm pro-plague. Okay. Pro-plague. Alex and Platui are, in a rage. Unless yet another person... No, alright. This has gone on long enough. I have the Wiccan's poison. I could end your pain. Regardless of who wins, democracy has lost. Listen, we just wanted all the votes counted. God, alright. Out of context, this is probably going to sound like I actually am an election fraud guy, which I am not. My pro-God agenda foiled again. Don't worry, Alex. I'm sure you will, you'll get more chances to try to sway things. For a moment there is silence, but for the Duke's hoarse breathing. For so long have I ached for death. Though it may doom my dukedom, I am too weak to refuse. Please, kill me. I promise I'm not pro-plague IRL. I trust you. Neither am I. Alright, let's poison him. You slip the vial past the Duke's helmet and let the liquid trickle past his lips. After a moment, he begins to shake violently, his armor rattling. And then, he is still. Ring of the Robust. What does this do? No, it's not democracy if I don't get what I want. Spoken like a true... election denialist. The man looks deathly pale and boils cover his skin. He lets out a burst of coughs as you approach. Please stay back. I'm not well. Wow, man, you got sick immediately. That degraded immediately. At my father's death, the curse has been lifted. The plague that has lain dormant in my blood has returned. Still, perhaps this is for the best. I would rather die free than live cursed. We must return to monarchy. Oh, that was fast. Yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense because this specific character was sick before the god deal was made. So it does make sense that it's like, all right, he already had it. It's immediately back. I have the biggest crown, so I would be in charge. Yeah, exactly. Alex has the #1 chat crown, so you are the chat monarch. How fares the castle? So the Duke is dead? At least his howls of pain will haunt these halls no more. Yeah. I do think that because I did share the curse in my original playthrough, in my canon playthrough, you might say, where I made all the choices rather than leaving it up to chat. But I do think that this particular choice, it's like, you know, if the curse already sort of curdled before, it seems like it's only a matter of time before things go bad again. And so I personally feel like sharing it with his son is more a delaying measure. And at some point, he'd have to find someone else. And at some point, and then you'd have to find someone else. And then you'd have to find someone else. So it feels like it is kind of just delaying the inevitable. But at least as far as the immediate impact, make sure the son doesn't suffer and try to cut the plague in the bud. That, you know what, that's a good point. But this is not... I don't think this is that kind of game. I don't think the game would let me do this, but... Wait, hold on. What's the... What is it? What's the hotkey for switching spells? I already forgot. Control? Okay. I don't believe this game lets you just kill non-combatant NPCs. And I think part of the reason for that is because this game does not... Like, it has one save file that it auto-saves for everything, which means that, you know, there's... Like, it would be too easy to soft-lock yourself if you could just randomly kill NPCs. But, let's see. Let's find out. Yeah. Another point for the Avowed comparison, yeah. But Avowed does have... Avowed does have quick loading and, you know, multiple save files and stuff. Still, I mean, as I said in my Avowed video, that really doesn't bother me about the game. And I do find it weird that was such a sticking point for so many people. But, whatever. Anyway. So that was not actually the area quest, but it is kind of related to it. We might do that next time, or we might just go straight to the Clockwork Kingdom. We can always go back and do this area quest later. But I am going to call it here. So, thank you everybody who joined me. Thank you everybody who, I guess, watched the VOD later if you did that. Thank you to chat for voting. And, yeah, if you can, Please come by Saturday morning for Jade Empire, for the start of Jade Empire. I'm very excited for that. I know there's been There's been a couple people who very much wanted me to do a video essay on Jade Empire. I currently don't know if I have anything to talk about for that, but I will find... You know, if I do decide over the course of the stream that there is stuff to sort of have more structured thoughts about, maybe I will. But otherwise, at the very least, I'll be covering it in a stream, and I'll be giving my thoughts live. So, anyway, yeah. Thank you, everyone. And I will see you at the next one.